Kris, offense obviously not an issue for you guys. You're scoring a ton, but you're allowing too much. When you have a chance now to look at the film, where are the biggest areas overall collectively you need to tighten up defensively?
Yeah, I don't think I can put my finger on any one specific play or area. I think there's a little bit of everything. One thing since the break I like that we have done better is defend off the rush a lot better. Going in end of January and those 2 games in February, I thought we were giving up a lot there. That's been better, but whether it's the defensive zone, it's just a lot of miscues. We have players around the net. We're protecting the slot. That was a lot of emphasis during that Olympic break when we came back and had those practices, protecting the slot a lot better than we were. And we have been doing that, but sometimes we've got guys there and we still don't get the job done. The one goal in San Jose, it kind of comes to mind where we've got a ton of guys around there and they still manage to get a goal. So it's just plays like that. And, I think there was a rebound. I think the first or the second goal, I think it was the first goal in the San Jose game. There's a rebound shot and we've kind of run around and we don't come up with that puck. So, I don't think there's one area that I can just say that this has to clean up.
For goaltending, and they've said, hey, we'd like to make some more saves. You've talked about it. Between yourself and Pete, how do you work with the goalies to try to get them to the level that you want them to be at?
Well, I think it starts in practice. Each goalie has some things that they need to work on, whether it's mobility, finding shots through traffic, whatever it is. They're each got their things, and they need to work on that in practice. This is a week for them to do that, because after this, I'm not sure how much practice time we'll have. But also just, I know with goalies and with any positional player, but especially with goalies, when things are good in front of you, it's a much easier game to play. And, I think about Ingo's game the other night, and, maybe it wasn't his best since he's been here, but, I thought it was strong. In the second period, he's definitely made a lot of saves to give us an opportunity to get back in the third period. I think we just collectively we need to help those goalies out.
Kris, can you give us an assessment of how you think Darnell Nurse has played this season?
I think there's been ups and downs. I know there's more from Darnell. I've seen it. I think looking back the San Jose game, that wasn't his best game, but I think it was a tough one for him to play. I'm not sure how much sleep he got the night before with the birth of his son and stepping into that afternoon game. I'm sure there's a lot of emotions, and we expect him to be one of our better players, especially on the back end. And I think there's a little more for him to give us, but I think. As always, sometimes there's players that get a little more criticism than they deserve.
What would you like to see him do better for a player playing as many minutes as he does?
Well, one thing is his skating. He's got to be moving his feet. And, overall, I think that's been good. But now the next step, closing plays, finishing checks a little bit more. I think he's been in the right areas. But, he's big, strong. He should be a guy that's hard to play against, and then also, when he's moving his feet at his best, he's also pretty good at moving the puck. When he's stationary, that's when he's getting into trouble. And I think this road trip, maybe there's some turnovers, but I think each time just standing still, and where he can be phenomenal when he's moving his feet.
Looked like some tweaks to the pairings in practice today. Is that something you're thinking about doing for the game?
Yeah, there'll be some maneuvering there, yes.
So, quite often it ends up back, Ekholm and Bouchard end up back together after short periods of time and such. Do you think the answer lies in those core pairings, or are you, open to exploring some stuff and maybe having this look different longer term than it has over the last little bit?
Yeah, I'm not sure if the pairs have to be different. We just know that we need more out of some of the guys on the back end and up front too. But the changes that we make, we're trying to get some more out of guys, and whether the certain pair isn't working very well. Obviously, Ekholm, Bouchard is a staple, and they're very good. But hopefully, we can split them up, and they can help elevate a couple other guys' play.
Wallman on his offside, just a thought on the effectiveness of that. And obviously, it's more difficult to play over there, but do you feel like that's been a tougher go for him recently than maybe in the past?
I'm not sure if it's playing on his left side or right side. I don't think, I've had that conversation with him numerous times about what he prefers. And he's good with playing either one. But I think he would prefer not to be back left and right, back and forth. And, right side, I think you might even say that he feels better on that side. Since he's played with us, he's been on the right side more than the left. Going back to his time in San Jose, it was more on the right side than left. So, for some defensemen, they do prefer being on their strong side. Some defensemen, a few of them, prefer the opposite side. But I think with Wally, it's just he would like to be in a regular spot. And for the most part this year, I think he has been.